please let us know and we will suspend the live stream.
DTM Talha, I was thinking that the education session may not be recorded because some people in D122 or members of D122, they're lazy. Whenever they see an announcement for some or an invitation, the first thing, will there be recording? And they don't have to join the meeting.
Exactly.
I'm just.
That is why, if you see, it is never announced anywhere on any of our social media, then this meeting will be live streamed.
Good.
And only due to the DEI protocols, it has now become a necessity to disclose that we are recording the voice. So our live streaming has started. So let me open the meeting forward. Iqbal sir, you can sit here and you can show the timing lights into the camera as well as to physical speakers. So, yeah. So, everyone, welcome to 1082nd meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Thank you all for making it here. We hope to have another exciting meeting. Today, we only have 5 speakers, which is a terribly low number by Karachi Toastmasters Club standards. And that alone is a testament to the dedication of our members, because we routinely have 7 or 8 speakers. And another skill that Karachi Toastmasters Club has is that it manages to stretch its meetings 2.5 hours at least, no matter the number of speakers. So let's try not to do that today. Although we are starting on the wrong footing by getting a little bit late, but hopefully we'll make it up from here. So the house rules, the ground rules have already been established. So without further ado, let me hand over the charge to our president, all the way from Texas, USA, DTM Sarfraz. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. Do we have any guests at Beach Luxury?
Yes, sir. We have 2 guests.
Okay, glad to have them. At this time, I would invite them to please come forward and say a few words. Tell us who they are.
Can you come one by one and introduce yourself? Stage. Yeah.
Maybe. I have done masters in economics.
Stage camera, yeah, now it's okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay, and PhD in statistics. I'm a banker basically, and I have 15 years of experience. At the time, I'm working with Asheville as senior manager compliance. Thank you.
Thank you. What was the name?
Anjum.
Anjum.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Farad Yasmin. Currently, I am working in Bank of Club Customer Experience Unit as Unit Head Customer Insights and Conduct. My education, I done my master's degree in economics, and after that, I switched to banking sector to job. Thank you.
Thank you both of you
for the guests.
Is that it, or we have another guest?
No, we don't.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome our guests, Anjum and Farah. Glad that you could join us. And towards the end of the meeting, we will ask you for your comments about the meeting. I won't go into, why Toastmasters, because other than our guests, everyone is a Toastmaster. The purpose of Karachi Toastmasters Club is to provide a friendly environment and atmosphere where we can practice our communication, speaking skills, and become better speakers. Karachi Toastmasters Club is one of the most successful clubs, not only in District 122, but in the entire Toastmasters International organization. And it is evident that in 2004, the club became a distinguished club for the 10 goals that are assigned by Toastmasters International. And since 2004, the club has always been a distinguished club or select distinguished club or president distinguished club. And for the past 6 years, it has been president distinguished club, which means the club achieved 9 or 10 of the distinguished club program goals. And the club also has maintained a high level of membership, always maintaining at least 20 members, which is the charter strength. Many clubs around the world at the present time are struggling, not Karachi Toastmasters, and that speaks a lot about the club itself. That means the club is holding quality meetings, club is giving opportunity to members to speak and improve their speaking skills, and club is doing the right things. And at this time, it is my honor to introduce to you the Toastmaster of the day. I've heard many times when someone is introduced, they say, oh, this person doesn't. Yes.
Just a second. What's going on?
So, DTM Talha, if you're ready,
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and introduce you.
Just give me a second, sir.
Okay, sure.
Actually, there's a technical.
Okay.
So you can go ahead with the introduction.
Okay. Okay, while you're fixing it, I'd also like to welcome our very active Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar.
Yes.
He's also with us today. Okay, I was saying that many times I've heard people introducing someone, they simply say, this person does not need introduction. To me, that's a cop-out. A person should always be introduced. DTM Talha, I came to know him in September 2021 when I joined KTC meeting, my first online KTC meeting. And I've been ever since impressed by him. He's not only a very, very dedicated Toastmaster, a very active Toastmaster. He past district director of District 122. He's past president of Karachi Toastmasters. He's currently the public relations manager of District 122. He is our club's VP of education, not only in KTC, but he holds this same position in 2 other clubs, Quantum Leap and WordWise. And that's not an easy task to be a VP education in 3 different clubs, 2 of them being advanced clubs, and Karachi Toastmasters Club, even though it's not considered an advanced club, it acts like and operates as an advanced club. And I give credit to DTM Talha. He's one of the main reasons the club is successful. Now, there are other people that also are responsible for the success of the club, but he's our main captain of the KTC that keeps the club returning. And it is my honor to introduce to you the Toastmaster of today's meeting, our VP of Education, District 122's Public Relations Manager, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. Once again, I'm on the stage. Thank you for the generous introduction, DTM Surpras. Our joke master has withdrawn, so we don't have a joke for today. I'll instead start with a humorous anecdote about introductions. In the Toastmasters world, we are very big on introductions. So every time we are trying to participate in a meeting, whether locally or elsewhere, always the Toastmaster of the day asks for the introduction of the speaker. And when they get the introduction of the speaker, then they pass it on to the host of the meeting, and the host then goes on to introduce the speaker. And what is the role of the speaker? The speaker then comes on the stage and says, oh, thank you so much for the generous introduction. That generous introduction has in fact been written by the speaker. So that is something that I find very funny in Toastmasters. It's not in Pakistan because, and in fact, even in KGC, you would see that we are not very big on introductions because everybody knows everyone. And perhaps we believe that it is what a person does on the stage, that is what counts more rather than who they are. But elsewhere, step outside, anywhere outside Pakistan, the first thing they ask for you is not what you will speak or not what is your set of skills, but what is your intro. So that is something that I find funny. So today, let me take the liberty to actually deviate a little bit from the agenda. We have once again a very special guest. He's one of my best friends and one of the pillars of Karachi Toastmasters Club. PTM Sarfraz mentioned that there are so many people behind the success of this club, and he is one of them. DTM Rashid Dastagir, if you could come on the stage and introduce yourself. And yes. And on behalf of the president, I would like to say to you that you'll have to do it every time unless you take up membership.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. My brief introduction is I am Rashid Dastagir, chartered accountant by profession, but Toastmaster by passion. First time attended Karachi Toastmaster meeting in December 2013 in chill winter. But that evening really warmed my heart, and from that day till today, the love in my heart towards the Toastmaster program and the wonderful task Toastmaster here in Karachi increasing. I couldn't able to attend the Karachi Toastmaster meeting for few years, but now I am trying to come here and attend meeting again. So I will. The warm welcome Toastmaster Talha has given me, and also the Toastmaster Sarfraz. So I believe after attending a couple of meetings and introducing myself, when I will be tired to give my introduction, I will again become member. Till time you have to be with me. Thank you.
Well, there's one other condition under which you are exempted from giving an introduction, and that is if you do a project here. So I will go through, since our secretary is also not with us today. So I'll go through briefly the minutes of the previous meeting. Our previous meeting took place exactly 1 week ago. And just give me a second. Yeah, all right. So best speaker was won by myself, best table topics by Toastmaster Mariam Akhtab, best evaluator by Toastmaster Asghar, and best facilitator by Toastmaster Ain Razak, Big Four by DTM Saad Shoaib, and Critics' Choice was also won by myself. In the way of announcements, we have our contests coming up. Urdu speech contest and table topics contest, tall tales contest, and that will now take place on December 3rd. Our chief judge for the contests will be DTM Sarfraz, and you just witnessed the contest chair, who is DTM Rashid Dastagir. So everyone, please enlist yourself. There's right now plenty of time to prepare for both. Only if you start preparing right now. Now, moving on to the meeting itself. Today, our theme is Enter Sandman. Now, what is Enter Sandman? Enter Sandman is a very famous song by Metallica. And it is actually the version of a lullaby that is frequently sung to children in the USA. But in this version of the lullaby, there's no fairy, there's no pleasant person or Santa Claus. Instead, there is the Sandman that is coming down, and it is actually a sign of the end of the world, because that Sandman is known as Sandman because the job of the Sandman is to put sand in the eyes of sleeping people so that they never open again. So it's a metaphor for death or the end of the world. And I know that is not something very encouraging or pleasant, but in typical KTC fashion, we will try to make it so. So the concept of end of the world, it is present in every culture around the world, every religion, every race. There is a school of thought which thinks that, and they have both scientific and theological basis for this, that there will be no end to the world. Instead, it will continue like this. If we die, then we die. There is no hereafter, nothing. There is no day of judgment. Even in the scientific community, there is a major split. And that split has even widened now that we are seeing new discoveries from the James Webb Telescope, which is challenging our understanding of the universe. So, a school of scientists believe that the universe is expanding because it was created through a big bang, and a day will come when it will collapse upon itself. And once again, that is called the Big Crunch. There's another school of thought that believes that the universe will keep on expanding forever until there will be equilibrium, there will be no energy flow because energy levels will be equal everywhere. So there will be no movement and everything will become still. There is another school of thought that thinks that there was no Big Bang, the universe was like this, and it will continue to be like this. And there's a whole host of theories. And we have no cause to worry about it, right? Because Toastmaster Asghar is smiling because he was about to point out that anything, the big crunch or the heat death of the universe, that is not expected to happen at least for 15 or 16 billion years. We have nothing to worry about. We just have to worry about our own deaths. That's a big relief. End of the world versus end of ourselves. One can argue, though, that if we witness the world through our senses, then essentially our end is the world's end as well. There's also extensive literature in religions and stories around the world which cover this topic, and we'll chance upon it from time to time. But now, to get to the meeting, we don't have a grammarian for today. So I'm requesting all the audience to note down any grammatical errors or any interesting English usage and just share it. Yeah, all members of the audience. DTM Rashid Dastagir, I can tell from your face that you're not willing to play any role. But if you are most welcome to it. And let me also mention here that DTM Rashid is the person who introduced me to Toastmasters. He is the one who sponsored my membership, and so you have him to blame for everything. And for this, I will be eternally grateful. There is something that honestly cannot be compensated. Next, we have our timer, and our timer is Toastmaster Mohammed Iqbal. Please introduce your role.
Thank you. Today, I am performing the role of timer. My duty is to time the whole meeting, which is in 3 segments: for prepared speaking, impromptu speeches, and last evaluation. For prepared speeches, different speeches according to the level, and the time is for their allocation. And for table topic, the minimum qualifying time is 1 minute. In completion of 1 minute, I will see the green, and completion of 2 minutes, I will slap the red. 30 seconds will be given for wrap up the discussion for the topic.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, we have our R counter, Toastmaster. You are the R counter, right? Yeah, I think you asked Toastmaster. You asked for. Yeah, you are the R counter. Can you please? Yeah.
And say, our counter, my job is to note down our Om's and Karach word uttered by the speaker during the speech, and the end of the meeting, I will submit my report to the journal evaluator.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So we do not have a lesson today. Vote counter will be played by myself. On 5 different occasions during the meeting, you'll be asked to vote for best prepared speaker, best table topics, best big four, best facilitator, and best evaluator. The votes will be done through Google Forms. You will receive the Google Form link on the Zoom chat box as well as the club group. For those of you who are not on either platform, you can pass on your votes to myself writing on a piece of paper. Next role is word master, and word of the day is apocalypse. APOCALYPSE. Apocalypse is simply the end of everything. It is the end of times. What we would call maybe the Judgment Day or Armageddon. There are so many names for apocalypse. If I were to use it as an apocalypse or apocalyptic is also used in day-to-day conversation as an indicator of something that is very depressing to the extent that it can drive a person suicidal or make one think of the end of the world. So, for example, if I were to use it in a sentence, it would be that sometimes when I'm summoned by the boss in his office, I have very apocalyptic feelings about it. Or if I were to use apocalypse in a sentence, it would be that our continuous callousness towards the environment may cause an apocalypse for mankind on the planet. So that is the word of the day, apocalypse. Please feel free to use it as much as you want. And our first segment is education session, which is prepared speeches. After that, there will be table topics, which is extempore session, extempore, because I only recently learned, and it took a travel to Islamabad and participation in Islamabad Toastmasters Club's meeting, where Toastmaster Abrar Wani actually pointed out that the word's pronunciation is extempore. So extempore session is called table topics. After that, there will be evaluation where the speeches and the table topics will be evaluated. So our first project today is by someone very special. He's our honorary member. He's a recently anointed distinguished Toastmaster. But as a person, I know him to be learned, humble, articulate, knowledgeable, and endlessly entertaining because he has so many stories to tell. So today, he will be delivering his project from Path Leadership Development, Level 2, Project 2, Understand Your Leadership Style. In this project, a Toastmaster is supposed to explore their own leadership styles, how many leadership styles there are, and what is their preferred leadership style. They're supposed to also relate something that educates the audience about various leadership styles, as well as how they have used the leadership style in their real life. The speech can be humorous, it can be informative, it can be serious, it can be any style. But it has to have a basic structure. This is mainly for the benefit of our guests, that every speech in Toastmasters is expected to have a few basic ingredients. The first one is that it should have a structure, beginning, middle, and conclusion. The second one is that we expect vocal variety, body language, voice modulation, articulation, and a good flow from every speech, no matter what the topic. So everyone, please put your hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Irfan Faruqi, Grow to Glow. Grow to Glow, distinguished Toastmaster Irfan Faruqi. Time is 5 to 7.
Thank you very much. Although I don't see the timer,
Sir, it is, if you can see the timing window. Wait,
Okay.
just a second. Just a second. It is actually my window, like the window with
All
my
right.
name. Just a
All
second.
right.
Let me turn on the camera. So the window with my name, and you can see Toastmaster Mohammed Iqbal. So now I hope you can see it.
Yes, yes, I.
All right.
So my time starts now.
Yes.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, something best about the pathways that Toastmaster has endorsed is that you get good knowledge if you carefully go through the pathway written activities, documents, and the material and knowledge which is available there. There are various types of pathways, and every pathway has different type of knowledge. But the best thing that I have liked is this particular path and project which I'm talking, because it gives a questionnaire there that ultimately leads you to understand your leadership style. I also went through the same activity. There were multiple questions. I answered them honestly, and the result was that I came to know that the most effective leadership style of mine, there were two basic leadership styles that came true to me. And the most important one was democratic style. And when I looked at my life, I found out that yes, I am more inclined towards democratic leadership style. Why? I like people. I never think I'm the best. I never said my decisions should be implemented. Instead, I say there are a lot of intelligent people. Why I should not involve them? Why should not I gain knowledge from their abilities and skills? And that has always been my lifestyle and management. Fellow Toastmasters, I would say there are multiple models of motivation, encouragement, leadership styles. Let's talk about a few basic things. For instance, a very popular model is called LMX theory model, leader member exchange theory model, which says there has to be a leader who builds a team around itself. The people who are close to leaders, they get the best benefit, and leader utilizes them. In my opinion, this is like a yes boss culture. Only those people come close to the leader who are inclined and who have a closeness with the leader, who have the same attitude with the leader, or they modify themselves to be close to the teacher. So that was not my lifestyle. Another important lifestyle is generally considered as need-based leadership. Whatever is the circumstance, mold yourself. To me, this looks like more a hypocrisy. You are not that type of person which you try to become based upon your followers. Then two major models that I like. One of them is service leadership model, and the other one is something where you build positive things in your subordinates called that model I just mentioned it name, transformational leadership model. In this model, in transformational leadership, you improve the life of your subordinates. While in the service leadership model, the leader is considered to be giving a service to the subordinates. When I look four basic characteristics into these two models, I find out that the basic important difference is focus. In the service model, the basic focus is on giving service to your subordinates, believing that it is your responsibility to serve your subordinates. While on the transformational leadership, the basic model is on not on giving the service, but towards meeting a particular organization goal. On one side, you serve your subordinates, service model. On transformational model, you set a goal, vision, and you take the team to that particular goal and destination. Now, coming to the service, we understand that in service, since it is a service-based model, it more focuses on serving your subordinates. Which is a better leader? The one that gives better service to its subordinates. On the other hand, when we look at the transformational leadership style, who is the better person? Who is the better leader? The one who can be considered as a role model. Subordinates, followers, they would like to be like the leader. So in transformational leadership, the main focus is try to become an ideal for your followers. And that is a difficult job. You don't have to pose like an ideal. You have to sacrifice. You have to keep others first. The third important thing in the activity of service leadership is that service leadership tries to build teams. Here, the leader and worker, they both work as a team. Whereas in the transformational leadership style, the model is persuasion. You persuade people. In leadership, you develop autonomy. You give authority to your subordinates. Whereas in transformational leader, you set a common goal and drive everybody towards that. Fellow Toastmasters, when I look at Toastmaster activity, both models look close to me. But in my personal opinion, service model is more important when everybody is equally important or where subordinates are more important. That is why you will see this model practically implemented in IT fields. Whereas in Toastmasters, leader is considered to be an important person and people try to be like their district leadership, their divisional leadership. They try to be like them. And that is why coaching and mentoring is also a part of Toastmaster activity. And similarly, that relates to the transformational leadership. Fellow Toastmasters, in my opinion, transformational leadership is best for Toastmasters. Back to you, sir. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, apologies. Thank you so much, Preeti and Irfan. So, good news, I will not repeat what I just said. I will just continue. So, we feel apocalyptic all the time, but places like Toastmasters, places where service leadership is exercised and is visible, these are our way of hope. And even if you think that these things are too little to make a difference, remember that we don't need to change the world. We just need to change ourselves. Thank you so much for that speech, ATM Irfan Farooqi. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Majid Akhtar, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Rafat Mufi. Toastmaster Rafat, please introduce the topic. Wait a minute. I did not share it with you. Just give me a second. I'm sharing it via WhatsApp already. In the meantime, let me introduce the project and then you can evaluate. Apologies for this. I should have shared it with you. Yeah, actually, it's in your WhatsApp already. But okay, let me introduce the project. Meanwhile, you can start. All right. Is that okay? So, Toastmaster Majid Akhtar is actually delivering his project, which is understanding vocal variety. It is actually the last elective project of level 4, level 3 of effective coaching. So, everyone, please put your hands together for okay. Under the project, the purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety to enhance his speech. During the completion of this project, the members spend time developing or improving his or her vocal variety. They will present a well-organized speech, listen for how the member uses his or her voice to communicate and enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style. And the speech is not a report on the content of understanding vocal variety project. A note to the evaluator that you will just be looking for a well-organized speech, but you will not be focusing on the content that much. You will be focusing, according to the evaluation sheet, vocal variety, usage of voice. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Majid Akhtar, who is my ideal. Who is my ideal? That is speech title, by the way. Toastmaster Majid Akhtar.
Who is my who is my ideal? Who is my ideal? So this is one question which bothers us a lot. I will be turning 45. Nobody would like to tell you their age, but I am telling you this, my age, that in this very month, I shall be turning 45. And yet, I do not know who is my ideal. The very first thing which I wanted to do in my life was I wanted to become SSG commando. I had an affection for armed forces. My very first love, because my grandparents, everybody almost fought 1965 war, then they were in 1971 war. So a lot of people from our family, they were into forces. So the very first love which came genetically to me was the love for armed forces. So I started reading and watching the stories of martyrs of the war. So my very first idol became Major Tufel Sheikh, Major Tufel, then Rashid Minhas. Then I started growing up, I started liking cricket. When I started watching cricket, then suddenly what happened? My idol got extinct. Initially, I was liking Major Tufel, but now I was liking somebody else. Now Javed Mirdad became my idol. So when I wanted to become a good cricketer, I wanted to learn batting. I sort of saw that there are a lot of good batsmen. So I wanted to become a good batsman. Then what I started to do was to follow Sachin Tendulkar. When I started following Sachin Tendulkar, he became my idol. I learned how to bat by watching Sachin Tendulkar. But then I wanted to become a good all-rounder. I wanted to bowl well as well, the way I used to bat. Then my idea again got changed. Then what happened? I got into banking. Life goes on. When I got into banking, my idea became Aga Sanamdi. I got to know that there's a gentleman, Aga Sanamdi, who created BCCI. I went so mad. I started reading about Aga Sanamdi. I was so impressed with the personality. I wished that I could meet that gentleman. So I started admiring Aga Sanamdi a lot. So then life again moved forward. I started doing part-time TV shows. I became an anchor person for free TV and a couple of channels. When I became anchor, then my ideal again got changed. I started admiring Shah Rukh Khan, the great Shah Rukh Khan. I started admiring Shah Rukh Khan and the great Amitabh Bachchan. I learned how to be very, very forceful to Amitabh. And again, I learned few anchoring skills from the great Moin Akhtar. My ideal again got changed. So my ideals were switching and switching and switching. Then I started developing affection for martial arts. I started loving Bruce Lee because I wanted to become a good fighter. I started admiring Bruce Lee. My ideal again got changed. So life has been continuously so confusing. And now, after having spent 20 good years in financial sector, I have an affection to become a lawyer. A lawyer. Now my ideal is again changed. So this thing is never ending. So one thing which I've realized is that there cannot be one ideal set for the whole life, because we have different facets in our life. We spend life with our family. We have one life which we spend in our offices. We have one life which we spend with our friends. We have one life which we spend at Toastmasters. So what I got to know is that there cannot be one special fit for every sphere of life. So when we particularly choose our ideals, the thing which we need to know is that the person whoever is we are going to choose an ideal is going to be the ultimate person we are going to start to become look like, because we start knowingly or unknowingly we start following that person. So one thing which I've learned and realized that is this, that whenever we choose our ideals, we need to be very careful, because our ideals silently start teaching us life. We start following the way things are done by those ideals. So it is very, very important to choose our ideals very, very carefully. Because many times when we watch movies, there is a gangster. He is killing everybody. He's very daring. He's very brave. And that person becomes our ideal. So we cannot pick gun and we start shooting everybody around. Although we have started liking that man in the movie, but in that particular movie, and we were watching him, that man became our ideal, but we cannot pick that person as our ideal. So important thing is that we choose our ideals very, very carefully. There are different phases of our life. There are different areas of our life. To become successful, we all need to have, for that specific area, there should be one ideal. And when we choose our ideal, we should be very careful, because that person should be resilient. What is resilience? Resilience is that hey days can be tackled by everybody, because good days are easy to live in, but the hard days are always difficult. So if whoever is our ideal can give us guidance, if that person is a seasoned person, that person has faced through the difficult period of life as well, then what we can learn from our ideal is that how to cope up from the bad days. Because no matter what happens, life goes in cycles. Sometimes there are heydays and sometimes there are going to be bad days. So when there are good days, it's easy to live, but when there are bad days, there are a lot of people who do bad things. There are people who totally get collapsed. They totally get shattered. But these are those days, the bad days. These days are actually going to tell us that who we actually are. So we should strive to live a kind of life that not only we are choosing our ideals, but we're living a kind of life that whoever is watching us during the bad days, whoever is observing us during our bad days, is getting impressed from us. That person, that man, that woman, that person is not getting destroyed during the bad days. That man knows how to deal with the bad days. So once we do this, we not only live our life nicely, but we also become ideal for so many. With this, I hand over the job back to the Toastmaster meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Majid Akhtar. Such an interesting discussion this speech invites. Why are we heading towards an apocalypse? That is because we idealize the wrong people. In fact, I believe that except for a few, it is absolutely wrong to idealize people. We should idealize acts or traits or attributes. Why? Because if we idealize people, then we adopt, as Toastmaster Majid said, we start adopting everything they did in their life. And one of my pet and favorite examples is Steve Jobs, who had very questionable ethics throughout his business life and also throughout his personal life. He did anything and everything to beat competitors. And his company today carries the same legacy. It is the world's richest company, Apple, and yet it manufactures its products in a place which has the worst human rights violations on earth, and nobody bats an eyelid. Regulators will go after Google, they will go after HP, they will go after so many other manufacturers. Nobody will touch Apple because they've got such an aura around them. So, and at the same time, we cannot say that everything he did was wrong. He built the world's richest company. So perhaps we should cherry pick the positives from people's lives. And that is where we will retain our moral compass and also work towards the betterment of this world. Now, our next speaker is someone who belongs to Tharparkar district, who is someone very special to us because whenever he speaks, he brings so much wisdom and so many interesting stories from his life, both from his native land and from his time. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Meghwar Velara, and he'll be delivering Presentation Mastery Level 3, Journey of Misadventure. Okay, sorry. DDM Sarfraz, I believe you have his evaluation sheet.
That's correct, I do.
All right, please introduce the project, sir.
Yes, my honor and pleasure. Toastmaster Meghwar Velaram is presenting a speech from the level 3 of Presentation Mastery. The purpose of his speech is, and this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. The title of his speech is A Journey of Misadventures from Karachi to Mehar District, Dadu. A Journey of Misadventures from Karachi to Mehar District, Dadu. Toastmaster Meghwar Velaram. Toastmaster Meghwar Velaram.
Toastmaster Meghwar, can you see the timers window?
Yes, sir. I am audible, sir.
Yes, you are.
Thank you,
5 to 7.
DTM Sarfraz and DTM Talasa. Just like that. Hello, dear Toastmaster and distinguished guests. Good evening. On the 26th May 2022, I, along with my 2 office colleagues, planned to travel from Karachi to Mehar District, Dadu, and just to offer their condolence to our friend's mother passing. We all had a good cause, but despite of that, we decided and thought that why not use the government cars and driver? Why not take the benefit from the government car? Then we took the government car and driver. It was the Saturday. We departed from the Karachi at 9 a.m. We were very happy, enjoying the gathering, sharing their story and jokes. As we crossed the Jamshoro, the driver suddenly said, "Sir, the car temperature gauge is running high." We were a bit surprised and assumed that the driver had already checked the car before we left. Then we said that, so what we had to do? The driver said, "Sir, just turn off the car AC." We did as he suggested and just turn down the side windows. Cause it was a hard day, but we managed. As we crossed about 20 kilometers ahead, again driver said, "Sir, the car is overheating again." We stopped the car at sight and opened the car hood. Saw there was no gap of the bottle water. And even the water bottle was empty. We were shocked and asked from the driver that he had not checked the water and the engine oil before we left. He admitted that he had not checked. He had quoted another driver named Mr. Habib confirmed that car was ready to go. So just he started. Really, we were in anger mood, but at that time we were looking all side, but there was no nearby shop and no public. Then we try to manage and cool down the radiator for 20 minutes, and when again manage and go ahead about 10 to 15 kilometers. Again we cool down the radiators, but it was the hot day. And even it was not we just cool down the radiator of the car, but we also managed to cool down our head radiators as well. And just we took the towels, put on the head and pour the waters, and we managed in such way. And we reached the Mahad about 3 p.m. I checked as mechanic checked the car. He said the gasket of engine was fired and it was totally damaged. We are so serious, really. But finally we ordered that replace the gasket. But unfortunately there was no gasket available. For the gasket, we had to move to Dadu, which was 35 kilometers away from it. Again, we managed in the same manner and we reached Dadu. About 35 kilometers we covered in 3 hours. Reached at the 5 p.m. And again, the mechanic inspected and checked the car. He needed about 10 hours to fix the problems. We again requested police made an alternate solutions, take at least 2 hours. Then we hired the taxi and we reached the main destination, which was 45 kilometers away from the Dadu. We reached there just to offer the condolences. One of our friends stayed there, but I and my senior colleague, Mr. Tariq Qureshi, decided to back to the Karachi. And we came back to the Dadu, again took the car back to same way in Karachi. Again, as we crossed the Seven Sharif, the car began the same issue. And at that time, I was so worried. And time was 11:30 p.m. night. All side was darkness. We again tried to manage, but about 30 kilometers away, car was stopped there. And we are so worried. And there was no option without any pushing. We tried to push the car and looking here and there was no lightning, outside the darkness. But finally we set the distinct lightning and we hoping that there might be a hotel or the petrol pump. Finally about crossed the 8 kilometers, pushing the course and reached their hotel. But all staff of the hotel were sleeping, even we could not able to take the cup of the tea. And then we decided to left the car there. And we stand by the road and tried to stop the vehicles, but nobody was ready to. We waited there about 2 hours. Finally, thanks, truck driver stopped the truck and gave the left us. And then we came to the Jamshoro. We are filled with the dust. Really, it was the worst time for us. And then we, through the local bus, we managed to reach the Karachi. And second day at 11 a.m. After that experience, we have decided that now we would not take the benefit from the government cars and the government drivers. Really, it was the worst. And we learned the multiple lessons from that. It was our experience. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Maiwar, for that very entertaining account of your unfortunate travel. And how ironic is your conclusion, being associated with government yourself, that you will never avail a government driver and government ride again. So, of course, we need people like you and Toastmaster Asghar to improve those things. Next, we have something very special. We have an education session from DTM Sarfraz Nazir about powerful speech openings. Over the past years that we've been lucky enough to have benefited from DTM Sarfraz, he has had one pet peeve, and that is that, according to him, our speech titles and speech opening statements are not strong enough. And whereas in today's fast-moving world, you have to grab the attention within the first 30 seconds, otherwise, you have a real chance of losing your audience. So everyone, please put your hands together for DTM Sarfraz Nazir. Oh, and
DTM Talha,
yes, sir.
I'm going to change the time to 10 to 12 minutes. I've taken your suggestion and included titles also.
All right. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you so much.
Green at 10, yellow at 11, and red at 12.
Perfect, sir.
10,
Perfect.
11, 12.
Perfect. So, introducing DTM Sarfraz Nazir, again, he needs no introduction, but for the benefit of our guests, he has been very experienced Toastmaster. In fact, he made it to the semi-finals of the World Championship of Public Speaking twice. He is currently serving as a division director in his home district, District 50, and he lives in Texas, USA. He is full of stories and full of life experiences. And one of the major things that I can remember about DTM Sarfraz is that every time he speaks, he always uses a story. And secondly, his content is always tailor-made to engage the audience. So without further ado, please put your hands together for DTM Sarfraz Nazir. Powerful speech openings, DTM Sarfraz Nazir.
Thank you, DTM Talha, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. The first few seconds are critical when two people meet. That's when they form an opinion of the other. When someone is looking for a job, they prepare and send their resumes or biodata to the hiring managers. Within the first few seconds, the person reviewing the resume or biodata decides whether they're going to continue looking at that person or they're going to put that resume into the trash can. Just like that, the first few seconds of a speech are critical and important. That's when the audience decides, do I want to listen to the speaker? Or should I pick up my phone and scroll through and look at my WhatsApp messages? But before I talk about the opening, the first thing that people notice, even before the speaker utters their first word, is the title. The title of the speech is also important. It's a teaser. It tells the audience that, hey, we want to listen to this speaker. We want to hear what he or she has to say. Look at the agenda today. Our first speaker, DTM Irfan Farooqi, Grow to Glow. That's what a title should be. The title should be short, but no one says how long or how short. I came up with my own rule. The title should be 1 to 5 words. If you're conducting a training session, you will expect the title to be a long how-to something. So people know what the training is about. But for a speech title, the title should not be the message, your foundational phrase, or the theme of the speech. An icebreaker speech. I've seen the title, My Icebreaker Speech. Of course, when the person is introduced as giving their icebreaker speech, we know the speech is an icebreaker speech. The title shouldn't tell us it's an icebreaker speech. That means that person did not put too much effort into preparing the title. When a child is born, the parents come up with a name for their child. What if the parents were lazy? And instead of coming with a name, they just named the child my first child. And then second one, my second child. Because I've seen speeches where the title says my first speech. I recently heard a speech. This was an icebreaker speech. The lady's speech title was My Grandkid That I Love. It tells me she's going to talk about the grandkid, and she loves a grandkid. And if I'm not interested in a grandchild or the love of grandchild, I may start doing something else. How about just simply saying, my love, my grandkid? Then you don't know what the speech is going to be about. I know 2 few years ago, during the first online World Championship Public Speaking, somebody had a full paragraph. He thought this would be funny. Yes, it was funny because the person introducing the speaker had to read the title twice per the speech contest rules. Long title is not good. It be short and sweet. The title of my speech for the first semifinals in the World Championship was Drive Your Dreams. I remember at first starting with Keys to Success. That's not attractive. Or you can say Big Dreams, dream big. That's better, but Drive Your Dreams is much better. The title of my speech, the third time I advanced to the semifinals of the World Championship, was The River of No Return. 5 words. The title should be 1 to 5 words. When you're thinking of title, think of a bumper sticker, the bumper sticker that you see at the back of a car. Short and sweet. If it's a long sentence, people can read it. It should be attractive enough. It should be like a teaser. Just do it. The real thing. Now, once the title tells the audience, hey, we want to listen to the speaker, when the speaker comes on stage and starts giving a speech, you cannot waste those first few precious seconds. Now, you may have read in the public speaking books that says there are 3 parts of speech: opening, body, and conclusion. Some even say, well, opening is something where you tell the audience what you're going to tell them. In the body, tell them what you just told them that you're going to tell them. And then in the conclusion, tell them what you just told them. I disagree with the 3 parts of speech. I believe there are 5 parts of speech: the opening, introduction, body, summarization, and ending. I separate the first 2 for opening and introduction. Because when people say the 3 parts and they say opening, they're telling the speaker to say what the speech is about. No, to me, first you have to get the attention of the audience. And then once you have their attention, then you introduce the subject, will be the second part of the speech, introduction, out of the 5 parts of speech. Give you an example. My speech, at the time I gave my speech, a game show called Deal or No Deal, which was broadcast on American NBC's, National Broadcasting Corporation. At that time, it was a very popular show. So when I opened my speech, I asked the question, have you seen NBC's Deal or No Deal? Now, if you open your speech with a question, you have to decide if you want the audience to respond or whether that's a rhetorical question where you don't want the audience. If I don't want the audience response, I cannot raise my hand. I just need to go on after a short pause. In this case, I wanted the audience to raise their hand because I knew most of the people in the room, hundreds of Toastmasters who were in that speech contest, that they would raise their hand. So I raised my hand too. And then I paused without saying a word, looking from left to right slowly, giving the audience a chance to slowly raise their hand. 99% of the people raised their hand. And once I had them raise their hand, then I went to my second sentence of the speech. then you know it's a show that requires absolutely no brains. The entire audience, hundreds people in the room, burst into laughter. 2 sentences were the opening. One sentence asked the question, second one told them what the reality is, because the show did not need any brains, it's just luck. Now I had the audience's attention, then I went from there into my introduction. But since I was talking about a game show, I knew most of the people who raised their hand. I also knew that there's going to be someone that does not see that show, is not familiar with it. So I cannot assume that everyone knows. So my third sentence was a brief description of the show itself, what's it about. 26 beautiful, bodacious bodies holding silver briefcases with dollar amounts from $1 to $1 billion, so that the people that are not familiar with the show know, and then goes to the opening. So your opening attracts the attention, and once you have the attention, then you go into the introduction, what your speech is about. Some people say you can, instead of asking a question, you can start with a quotation. That's good. If you use a quotation, don't say, I want to start with a quotation, or I have a quotation, or I'm going to quote someone. Just simply say the quotation. If you use a quotation, don't overuse quotations. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. I've heard hundreds of speakers use that quotation in their speeches. Use something different. The best thing you can do is to come up with your own quotation. In a speech on education or learning, I use my own words. Learning is a never-ending process. The day we stop learning is the day we stop living. I've used that in my speech, and somebody liked it. They have one of the Toastmasters clubs. It's on their home page on the website. In another speech, I used my quotation. I would rather die with enthusiasm than live without it. The speech was on attitude. Talking about financial situations, credit card debt, people drowning in credit card debt. I used my quotation that said, you cannot reach the shores of financial success if you're drowning in debt, or if you're drowning in the tsunami of debt. So make up your own quotation, or if you use someone's quotation, use something that is not popular, something new, something different, not something that people have heard it several times. Or you can use a statistic, a number, but use it where it attracts the attention of the audience. For example, if I were talking about drug overdose, I would begin like this. Sadly, during the next 10 minutes, while I'm giving this speech, at least 2 Americans will die of overdose. So you can use a statistic that grabs the attention of the audience. A question rhetorical, or another way to start this speech is simply start with a story. Tell us when it happened, where it happened, what happened, and then what came out of it. If you use a story in the speech or start, don't say, I'm going to tell you a story. Just start the story. It is important to note that the first few seconds are important. Don't waste them by saying, oh, I was thinking, what should I talk about? Think about the title as a bumper sticker and spend some time on coming with a great opening. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, T.T. Sarfraz, for addressing and airing so many of my pet peeves, especially about titles and openings and people using quotations. Those who have attended contestant briefings by me they know for a fact that I absolutely detest the idea of using quotations, especially the familiar quotations. So, to your very wonderful quotations, first of all, please rest assured that I'll go through the recording and know, with your permission, of course. So, about public speaking, I have my own quotation. And that is that no matter who you think you are, you're only as good as your latest speech. That means that, you can have all sorts of credentials. We just saw DTM Surpass. What reason did he have to actually educate us? He has, mashallah, accomplished so much. But his reason, and the reason we are all here, is that we work on ourselves all over again. We work on ourselves every day. Exactly. We keep learning and keep learning. And that happens every day. You cannot slacken off on learning. So thank you so much. Sincerely grateful, DTM Surprise, for this. And now we move on to our last speech, which is by Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal. And his evaluator is Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, who is actually physically present here. He's just pretending to be online. So please introduce the project, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal is delivering a speech from level 4. The title of the speech, the project is Managing a Project Successfully. The title of the project is Ketan Bahadur. Please welcome Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal. Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal is supposed to practice developing a team, building a team, and then fulfilling a plan with the help of his team. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Iqbal.
Thank you. Good evening.
Just a second. Timing. Is someone available? Okay, okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Now start.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmasters and guests. Everyone knows the bird of Pakistan. Yes, national bird of Pakistan. Yes,
Jackal.
yes. The story of my project is belong to a banker whose son going abroad, Stanford University, and he wished to take his pet with him. Toastmaster Majid, first is 2 to 3 minutes. I will bring the. Okay. Okay. 2 to 3 minutes. All right. All right. And many take the tea from Koitawal tea spots all over the Pakistan, and they take Chukor with them and say that we are the Musafir, and is also a bird, Musafir bird, and they get inspiration by this bird. When Muhammad Saad, the son of a banker, lady banker, senior corporate level manager, and when his son says that he wished to take his son abroad, like the top level university with his pet, then all his family laughing and make a joke for him that what he is saying. As custom clearing and forwarding is our family business, and my elder sister, Ms. Rafat Mubin, is taking as director. That's why our bankers and many professional ladies are friends with our director. He discussed with this problem with our team, and we arranged the project for how the kitten Bahadur, which is 1 week old, and wish to take his kitten Bahadur to Stanford University. Then project is given to us. Then it is our project. Now I start my project. It is the introduction. Okay.
Time continues.
Now I start
5 to 7.
my in this project, the when the project is start, Madam Fauzia Diksha is a senior banker of Bank Al Falah Corporate Sector, and his branch is Medina Road. And he called us the meeting, and in meeting we are plan a project to take the pet with SAP. There is some nitty-gritty, which is that 4 months age is required to take the kitten. And the Stanford University gave him SAP that it is a option to take the within 15 days, 1 month, 4 months, or 6 months to join the session. Whole process of admission of Stanford Business School is completed. He take us the what is your decision, then when I join probably in the thing. We say that minimum 4 months is required to fulfill your kitten passport, which is vaccination card, is necessary to travel the pet with you. Okay, I give this suggestion as a team member, project in charge, that you give the Stanford, then he within 6 months he will join the Stanford University. Okay. In this team, I have 4 members. It is very a beautiful project because my younger daughter, her name is Khatija Iqbal, is a team member because he wished in the 6th class and Dow Public School student. She wished to take a part in the business. Okay, I give him a chance to and give the vaccination and making the whole vaccination card for him. I will. Okay. The 4 member, one is one team member. One first team member is Ms. Rafat Mubin. Second is Ehsan Siddiqui. Third is Masroor, Syed Masroor Ali, and fourth is Khatija Iqbal. We in this we allocate the whole money charges, which is approximately we give this 40,000. Yes, vaccination. Yes, vaccination is different countries require their different vaccines according to the here is the Richard veterinary hospital near Radio Pakistan is the veterinary hospital where Dr. Chandra Kumar is the senior doctor. The plan is I take my daughter to visit the hospital, and after completion of 3 months, first vaccination according to the US requirement, vaccines will be injected to the pet Bahadur, and after 1 month, the should should dose say that will be given, and completion of 4 months he is able to bear the position. This whole project is I give the um, good thing in this plan that for Madam Fawzia Isha is a senior banker, and her husband is a businessman. The situation, if we try to look any person in his framework, then we feel that the animals, why they need animal support, if yes, needs animals. We successfully, inshallah, because there is a time now. The first dose will be in the next 11th month, and the process is running according to the project plan. We allocate the resources, time, dates, and the one thing is there is no difficult way, because some airline is pet friendly. They allow to keep in the cabin, but the requirement is to keep the IATA according to IATA cage, which may put in the below the seat, or if we pay the to keep seat, then okay, the whole project will be inshallah completed satisfactory. Okay, now complete this.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal. And this speech actually managed to be about completing a project, but at the same time, it was a very heart-touching project. So a very, very unique story, I must say. So this brings our prepared speeches to an end. And Toastmaster Iqbal, I believe the speakers have qualified.
Yes, all other is one, but my time is 7 minutes 32 seconds.
All right, we'll let that.
All
participants are qualified. I'll be floating the poll for best speakers on the Zoom and WhatsApp. Please vote for the best speaker. And in the meantime, let's also move on to the next segment. And that's
DTM Talha.
Yes, sir.
When you send the vote, do not include the education session.
Sure, sir. Sure. To the utter relief of all the other speakers, DTM Sarfraz has insisted continuously that his education sessions not be included in the voting. So I'm not one of the speakers today, so I have no vested interest. But I speak on behalf of all the other speakers when I say that we are sincerely grateful.
Thank you. There is room at the top.
Yes.
Now there's.
Yes. Thank you so much. And now we move on to the extempore speeches. And for that, we have one of our past presidents and one of our very special members who has graced this club whenever he has found the time. And now he's also, just like Toastmaster Madin, he's also decided to be more consistent and finally work his way towards DTM. In fact, we can set up a race between you two. Who gets to DTM first? How's that? So everyone, please put your hands together for our senior and well-known and well-loved stalwart Toastmaster Abid Ali Habib. Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. I think two guests were here. Were they?
They have to leave early.
Okay, yeah. So now we have only three speakers.
Yeah,
So we can, two topics can be given to somebody else.
yeah, you can call others too. No issues.
So fellow Toastmasters and guests, as you know, all the meetings are divided into three parts. One is the extempore, one is the prepared speeches, and one is the most important is the evaluation. And we get the evaluation from the seasoned speakers. We have now, I believe that many DTMs are here. When I was president, hardly only one DTM was there at that time. Even I am not a DTM. I'm starting my basic manual again. So now, luckily, we are now not only the DTMs, but we are going to the district level. Now we are district, is it?
Yes.
So this is the beauty of the club, that now when the big stars are here, the learning is very fast and the learning a lot. And as we have discussed various times, that public speaking is very, very important in your career, in your success, in your professional and personal life. So the second part, like I said, is the extempore speeches. You get the chances at various occasions to speak randomly, and that is, this club gives you the platform where you practice many times. So it will give you the chance to speak in that way, like Toastmaster Sarfraz said, that in first 30 seconds, the listener decide whether they have to listen or not. So this is very important. So my first speaker, I will request our Toastmaster Dastagir. Please come here. Today's theme is networking. Networking, how to make friends. And I will request Mr. Toastmaster Dastagir to say something about the importance of networking. So please come here and say something.
Masters and guests. We are women. So humans are social animals because we need our friends, we need our relatives, we need our friends to live a happy life. And when it comes to the professional life, we need a strong network to keep us afloat. And for good networking, what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing for a effective networking or strong networking? is to get along with people. And to get along with people, you have to be a good communicator so that you can attract person like Abadari Habib to bring in your network. And they like you to be near him or you, Toastmaster Talha or Majid Akhtar. So they are all successful people, good communicator. So they will allow you to come closer to them if you they feel you worthy to be in their professional circle. And to be in their professional circle, you should be a good communicator, you should be a good human being, and you should be a sincere and humble. Always ready to not only work for your well-being and success, but also ready to help others to become successful, like Toastmaster Talha, and don't selflessly. And to learn something about networking, please come and join Toastmaster. And after spending some time, you will get a rich networking with a wonderful Toastmaster. And these are the best and beautiful people to network with. Over to you. So,
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachid Dastagir. You wonderfully said that friendship is a two-way deal. Whatever you share and give to others, in return, you will get it. So in Toastmaster Club, we try our level best to build the leaders, to help them how to overcome your shyness and create the leadership qualities so you can be a responsible person in the society. Now, my second speaker, I will request, as he has spoken, but he has requested to be a table topic master as well, Toastmaster Majid. And please sit, Majid, for 20 seconds. So I will request him to say, like, friendship, like we're talking about the networking and friendship. Friendship sometimes are helpful where family members can't. So I will request Toastmaster Majid to come here and say your views on it.
Thank you, David Master. A friend in need is the friend indeed. Your family is somebody who's actually given to you by God. They are like your forceful friends. You did not make them. You did not have a choice, but you are bound to have these relations in your life. But in addition to this family, there's another relation which we create. And that relation is the relationship of friendship. They say that a friend in need is a friend in need. So there are a lot of them in your life. Your family will think that you're wrong. They will not like to help you because they will think you're wrong. But guess what? Aside from God, there is somebody who is there to help, and they are actually your chosen friends. So when we choose our friends, it's very important to know exactly that who are we bringing in our circles. There are different type of friends we make. There are certain friends to whom we restrict only to the street. There are certain friends to whom we bring to the drawing room, and there are certain friends to whom we bring to our dining tables. And the best friends are to whom we bring to our dining tables, because these are those friends who eventually become our chosen family. Now, these are actually those friends who will be there when there are going to be tough times. These are going to be the friends when your mother and father will be telling you that you are wrong, but they will be there to help you. Because there comes time in your life when your parents are not on your side. But like I said in the beginning, aside from the God, there is someone who's there to help, and they're your unconditional support. When we say unconditional support, what do we mean? Whether you're wrong or you're right, they will be there to help. So they are there to help, and they are actually your friends. And this is the reason why we say a friend indeed is a friend indeed. Over to the David Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Majid. Majid has a unique style to say. It's very impressive. So I always try to, copy him and paste it to the Karachi Toastmasters Club. Now my next speaker is Toastmaster Talha, if you like, sir.
Of course.
And Talha, if you are contesting elections and you want the votes and you want to throw a dinner for the voters, so how you will make your database for the invitees and how you will create an atmosphere for your campaign. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Abisa. Very interesting question, and it also pertains to some of my experience contesting elections for the district positions and the club positions. So, if I were to throw a dinner for the potential voters, of course, what I would be doing is I'd be making a Google form. And in that Google form, I will take all the details that we take while giving a Toastmasters membership. Name, physical address, email address, and phone number, so that they can be spammed on all platforms all the time. And of course, we will include a minor tick box that if you are to attend this dinner, please say yes, that you agree to receive emails and you subscribe to our emailing list. But then again, I think that whether I want to do that or not, because lately I have been winning elections not by contesting elections, but rather nobody else runs for those positions. Ever wonder why am I serving as VP Education Karachi Toastmasters Club for the 4th time, or simultaneously VP Education of 2 other clubs? Because nobody steps up for this position. So it turns out that maybe, in my case, I just have to file nomination papers. And God does the rest. Over to you, payment officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Talha.
Did Toastmaster Abid Ali? We also
Yes.
have online. We have
Yeah.
online Mariam Aftab. You can use her.
I see,
Mariam
I see,
and-
I see.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Talha, I will request you to please put the names.
Yeah. I actually did.
Only you have given. Yeah, what name is it? Toastmaster Mariam.
Mariam Aftab and yes, Iran. Yeah.
So Toastmaster, I will request Toastmaster Iram.
Mariam. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so both are there.
Both
So,
are.
yeah.
Toastmaster Iram, and I will request to say something about what are the strengths and weaknesses of Toastmaster Club. Toastmaster Iram.
Thank you so much for sharing the topic today and giving me a chance to appear in the table topic.
Okay, Aaron, can
Can
you
you
see the
please
timer window? Can you see the timer?
No, I can't see.
It is labeled the timer. So what I'll do is that I will spotlight you and them. It's labeled the timer, and you will be shown indications. And when you show the red light, it means that you have to wind up within 30 seconds. Is that okay? Can you see the timing window?
No, it's not visible. Even
Now,
I'm unable to click. Yeah, it's visible now.
are you on a cell phone?
Yeah.
Now you can see it.
Now you can see it?
Yeah, the green one is visible to me.
Yeah. That's the one. You can start now.
Can you please repeat the topic if you don't mind?
What are the
Can
Extension.
Yeah, you can repeat from here.
from here?
Yeah, you can repeat from there.
What are the strengths and weaknesses of Karachi Toastmasters Club?
Fine. Moving towards the topic, what are the strengths and the weaknesses of the KTC? I have less idea about the KTC because I am going to join today. But to some extent, I can say there are many strengths in comparison of the other Toastmasters club because I have joined the other Toastmasters as well online. First of all, I found here majority of the senior personalities such as Sarfraz and the other one was there. And the speech I have received today is much different than the other ones. So it's a learning opportunity. Learning opportunity is here, and I can also say there are variety of the personalities who can share the knowledge and who can the other members can acquire the knowledge from them and they can learn a lot. They can bring their personality towards by considering the senior ones as an ideal one. Should I stop because it's still
Yeah,
green?
it's a green. You can continue. You should wind
Okay.
up when you see red. Yeah.
As far as its weaknesses are concerned, I can't say much at this moment because I am not sure and I haven't joined this club in person. So it would be a little bit difficult to find the weaknesses. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I will request Toastmaster Azhar to please come here and say something about networking for the jobs. Suppose if you want to become a CEO of a bank, but your task is to first understand the environment, the Karachi environment, and you have to create a networking. And your goal is to become a CEO in next 1 year, say, for example, Askari Bank.
Thank you. Thank you, table topic masters. That will be a very challenging job at this age, and I'm not going to disclose it. To begin with, I'm not a person who is coming from accountant or banking or mathematics. I got terrible marks in mathematics when I left it last time. I am from a journalistic cadre. The only way is to being a CEO of a bank is to resign my current job, join politics, become an elected member at certain level, then blackmail the president of the bank from the above in order to get a slot as CEO, because I know how CEO are usually selected. There are usually 3 names who are presented in the board of the governors. Either I need to kill the rest of the 2 in the last day to create a space for me, or to blackmail them somehow, because that will be the only way to get the position of CEO. Otherwise, I won't be able, even a cashier of a bank, keeping and weave the skills that I've got so far in my life. That is how I can respond your query. Over to you, table topic master.
Online, Mariam.
Toastmaster Mariam, are you available?
Yes. Yes, please. Think a good one.
So are you the regular member of the club?
Yes.
Toastmaster Mariam, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Toastmaster Mariam, I will request to say something about like clarify situation as soon as possible, so misunderstandings can't become entrenched. If you are in a situation where some issue is there with your colleagues, So clarify the situation as soon as possible. So say something about it. You got it?
Thank you so much. Yeah. The culture and environment of an organization matters a lot, and it plays an important role how you perceive the other persons. Now, if I say that this should be done, before that, we have to understand to whom are we talking. Is the person capable enough to understand this, accept this? Because sometimes they do not understand the difference between criticism and critic. Sometimes critics can be taken as a criticism, which is a wrong perspective, I would say. But yes, practically, because we are in a working environment, and I always do that. If someone is working under me or at the same position I was working with, or the senior one, with all due respect, I never created or take the burden of someone's perception on my shoulder. No way. I clear the doubt on that point. But sometimes you have to face the circumstances that that situation has created. But that depends on the self-confidence, your clarity on purpose to tackle the situation. I think that is the most important thing that defines the person's character to handle the situations and misunderstanding that has been created in that situation. I feel it should be done, but should be done in a proper way. That creates the difference. Thank you.
I think everybody is covered.
Yeah.
Toastmaster, if I can invite Toastmaster Sarfraz present.
Yeah, sure.
Toastmaster Sarfraz, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
So I will request you to say something like, what are your priorities to enhance the club level? What are your priorities? What you want to do for this year? Say something about it.
Are you referring to Karachi Toastmasters Club?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. What are my priorities for the club? Like many other clubs, club presidents have the priority to ensure that the club is successful as measured by the Distinguished Club Program. In case of Karachi Toastmasters Club, I don't have to focus on that because the club is already President Distinguished Club for having achieved 9 goals during the first 4 months of the Toastmasters 2023-2024 year. So the question then is, if I'm not going to focus on the Distinguished Club Program, what are my priorities? Answer is simple. The purpose of the club is to help members improve their communication skills. So I'm blessed with the experience that I have, that I can share that experience with fellow members. After having given 180 speeches in the Education Pathways program, more than 50 speeches at KTC, I now focus on providing educational sessions on various topics that help members improve their communication skills. You heard the one today on title and speech openings. Coming soon to a meeting near you will be one on story. We ask people to use personal stories. But how do you structure a story? How do you make a story so interesting that people want to hear and that leaves them on an emotional roller coaster? So my priority for this year is to provide some education sessions for the club. And in addition to that, help any member who asks or seeks help. That is my priority. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarfraz. And that's the end of the table topic. So now I will request table topic master, Toastmaster of the evening. Please come here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, everyone, please vote for the best prepared speaker. We have just one vote. And I'll also float the poll for the best table topic speaker. So please take the time to vote. Mr. Timer, all participants are qualified. Table topic participants are qualified. All right. All participants are qualified, and we had 1, 2, 3, 7 participants. So everyone, please vote for the best table topic speaker. Just give me a few seconds to close the poll. My laptop is refusing to cooperate. Everyone, please vote for best table topics, and also please vote for the best prepared speaker. We have precious few votes for that. And now, all right. So thank you so much for that wonderful table topic session. And today we have far less than usual participants, but the advantage was that so many people got an opportunity to speak. Beautifully done, Toastmaster Ahmed Ali Habib. Your topics are always very thought-provoking. They're not easy to address. One has to take a pause and then, and that's the essence of table topics. So now, something that we call the crux of Toastmasters, and that's what we call everything. When there's an education session, we say that that is the main feature of Toastmasters. Then, when it's time for table topics, we say that that's the essence of Toastmasters. But now, the real essence comes, and that is the evaluation session, journal evaluation, and that is what sets Toastmasters apart. Because you can get a lot of guidance in other forums and platforms, and now you can also get guidance from artificial intelligence. But the evaluation that you get through Toastmasters is not matched anywhere else. First of all, because it's substantial, it's meaningful, but also because it's positive. It's designed to encourage a speaker into improving further and coming on the stage again. So without further ado, let me call our journal evaluator of the day, someone we are honored to have in person, and someone who is one of the pillars of Karachi Toastmasters Club. And yes, I know I'm saying that about everyone today, but that happens because how many buildings have you seen? Have you seen a building with just one pillar? No. So KDC is like that building in ancient Rome. What is it called? Which has so much. Sorry? No. Colosseum, yeah. And that has so many pillars. So, of course, that is what KTC is like. And why do I say that? Because Toastmaster Asghar has participated vigorously in meetings. He has delivered speeches, and in every speech, we have learned a lot. Everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I said it earlier. I would like to repeat it again. In Toastmaster, I'm paranoid in reverse. I always believe that people are plotting to make me happy. Thank you very much for your introduction. We are about to enter in the third phase of our meeting, which is journal evaluation. As a part of the journal evaluation, we are going to evaluate the prepared speakers first, and then the table topic speeches. And after that, we will invite role holder for their report. Our first speaker today was Irfan Farooqi, and Irfan Farooqi will be evaluated by DTM Thala bin Ahmed. DTM Thala. Stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Irfan. One can always count on DTM Irfan to deliver a project out of convention. He always brings something different to the table, and that is one of the things that we can learn from him. That it is not necessary to do the same project again in exactly the same manner. And today we were not disappointed at all. DTM Irfan had a very good setup. I especially like the setup, the way he introduced what he was about to say. As DTM Sarfraz said that you're supposed to have an opening and then an introduction. Perhaps not so much an opening, but we, of course, did have an introduction. Valuable learning about the LMX model and other leadership models. And I especially like the fact that you ventured beyond the definitions of leadership styles given the Toastmasters curriculum, and you also brought in other learnings as well. So absolutely love that. Occasionally, you use quite appropriate and spot-on gestures. For example, when you said, "Yes, boss." And finally, I also like your conclusion. Though I had the sensation that you hurried a bit towards the end, but you managed to wrap it up beautifully. And that is another learning that conclusion can be one sentence. It does not have to be a sermon. It does not have to be a paragraph. It can be one line. And in your case, the line was that, if I'm correct, that the true spirit of leadership is in service leadership and transformational leadership. So a few improvement areas. Today, you were uncharacteristically hesitant at the start of the meeting, and that took away some of the engagement. A little bit higher energy would have been welcome. And you were also consulting papers, and I appreciate that because sometimes the subject matter is such that you cannot exactly memorize it. But perhaps other visual aids would have been more suited to the project. For example, you could have used flip chart. You could have had a whiteboard and you could have written the points, you could have pointed to them, just like a classroom. Or you could have had a presentation, because I've discovered over the years that one of the most valuable functions of a presentation is to give the speaker pointers. So perhaps that could have been used. And occasionally you held your hands like this during the speech, which was, I think, uncalled for. And finally, again, this is something personal, that you use the word subordinates, which is all right, but perhaps in the current day and age of DEI and ESG, not so appropriate or politically correct. And again, I personally have absolutely no issues with this word, but perhaps a better word would have been colleagues or team members, so that not to potentially offend anyone, because these days everybody is ready to be offended by anything. So overall, great project. Could have been more engaging with a little more energy in the beginning, but overall well-constructed speech and a good level of learning. Congratulations, and over to you, General Manager.
Thank you, DTM Tanab bin Ahmed, for evaluating our first speaker, DTM Irfan. Our second speaker today was TM Majid Akhtar. TM Majid Akhtar will be evaluated by TM Mubin. So please.
Toastmaster Majid Akhtar has completed his project, Understanding Vocal Variety. The objective of the speech is to practice to enhance vocal variety. He started with great show of vocal variety. Toastmaster Majid gradually changed his voice with slow down and high up his voice. He successfully focused up, high and low down his voice and conveyed his feeling with variety of vocal voice. No doubt, vocal variety plays a vital role in our communication and make it effective. In my personal opinion, vocal variety gives life to our expression and facilitate us to express ourselves meticulously. On the other hand, worse vocal variety put negative impression to ourselves among our friend and family members. Due to my profession, in my professional life, I can understand the magic of vocal variety in our personal life. Sometimes we annoy other by bad use of vocal variety without any reason. And sometimes we, on the other hand, during his speech, speaker explained his own story from early childhood when he idolized someone, but later on his ideal was changed. He explained such phenomenon by excellent use of high and low pitch volume and was successful to fulfill the theme of the project. The speech was full of content. Vocal variety impliedly gives meaning to our sentiments and convey message to other. I can proudly say that the speaker successfully conclude the objective of the speech, that is practice to enhance vocal variety. Have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Majid for completing the speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for evaluating Toastmaster Majid. After the third speaker was the TM Megawar. Velaram and TM Megawar will be evaluated by DTM Sarfraz Nazir. Over to you, DTM Sarfraz Nazir.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, and especially you, Toastmaster Megawar Velaram. Thank you for taking us on a journey with you from Karachi to Meher District, Dadu. First, I'm going to tell you 3 things that I liked about your speech, and then I will give you 2 suggestions for improvement. The first thing I liked about your speech was what some people say. A speaker should make the audience think and feel. What I think about, how I felt when you were speaking, when you mentioned Jamshoro, it reminded me of the time when I was a student at the Sindh University Engineering College in Jamshoro. And it brought back memories, because it is not important what the speaker says, it is important what the speaker makes people think. And I like that idea. I also like your speech because you use your personal story as the main topic. You started your speech by telling us about the time when it took place. You told us about the place, where, from where, and then what happened during your journey from Karachi to Meher District. The third and the most important thing that I liked about your speech was your voice, your excitement, your gestures, and your hand movement. Your voice was clear, distinct. We could hear every word that you said. And it appeared that you were enjoying giving that presentation. There was a shine on your face, a smile at times. Your hand gestures, your hand movements. For example, when you said, thank God, you looked up, you raised your hand. That's great. Now, what can you do to improve? Since I already mentioned the titles today, your title was A Journey of Misadventures from Karachi to Meher District, Dadu. That should have been the theme or message of your speech, saying the misadventures that took place during your journey from Karachi to, instead of that being the title. Your title could have simply been one word, misadventures, or a journey of misadventures, in which case we'll know something happened during your journey, but we won't know until you start giving your speech that it was from Karachi to Meher District. And the second thing that I noticed was at times you look into your right. Always when you're pausing, look at the camera. That way you are making contact with the audience. Because I'm not sure why you were looking to your right. I liked your speech because you used a personal story, you made us feel and think, and you had good gestures, hand movements. And next time, improve your title and look straight at the camera. You'll be a great speaker. I look forward to your next speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, DGM Sarfraz Nazir, for your evaluation. And our third speaker was DGM Sarfraz Nazir, but we don't have any evaluation for the speech. There was an educational session, so we come forward and we now at our final speaker was Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal, and Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal will be evaluated by Toastmaster Asghar. So Toastmaster Iqbal, you are repeating your last project, and your project was all about to practice about a plan, building a team and fulfilling a plan with the help of his team. And since I already heard your story, it was completely clear to me. I can't say the same about the other audience members. Starting from the good point of your speech is the way you start your speech by asking a question. And I'm proud to say that I was the first one to know the answer, even before DTM Tala. No, DTM Tala later on merely agreed what I said. So when you ask the question about a bird, and then you started from the birds to the pets, and then you come to your kitten Bahadur or pet Bahadur, and you introduced your story for a couple of minutes. You introduced the scenario. What is the scenario? And then after that, you talked about a banker and then how you wanted to send your kitten. After that, you talked about your team and the people involved in the project for whom you are working. There were three elements: your teams and the characters who are involved in the planning, and then you talked about certain regulation, the government's regulations. They were very much specific, very much clear. And this is something I would like to appreciate you. Now, I immediately comes to the recommendations area. I still think that you need to separate your team, what you people with your sister is doing, what is the character of the story, and then how the regulation is affecting for you. This would have create more effectiveness in your story than it was. Another thing which I noted that there are certain jargons and technical terminologies. You were supposed to explain them before going further. For example, IOTA. I think you used a word IOTA. To me, it was related to the international air transportation, something I can't really, international air transportation or something. But yes, but a common audience, perhaps, a person who is listening to you doesn't know this terminology. So you are supposed to introduce the terminology and then immediately relate them what you are saying. This is one thing I would like to recommend for you, apart from the characters. The last thing, create a sense of timing that you have 7 minutes. Divide that time in a way that you can finish your story by the 7th minutes. Otherwise, you will be derailed from your stories. But today we got it. And I would like to congratulate you for the describing of your plan, because that is the main, you speaker supposed to share as experience or either describes about an aspect of the plan. You, in a way, shared your experience, but try to create next time in another pathway. When you come across such a speech, try to increase the share of your experience rather than the real situation, what is happening on the ground. Your experience for us is more important, and that is how the objective of the plan can be achieved. Overall, it was a good speech, and I really like your confidence, the way your consistency, the way you are doing it, and that is how we learn. We will never be 100% correct or 100% excellent speaker. The only thing we can do is to try to become better and better day by day. So thank you for your speech. With this is the end of the prepared speeches. Now the next session is the evaluation of table topic. Who's evaluating table topic?
You are actually.
Okay, so I'm also evaluating table topic session. So
Actually, just a second. Did all the evaluators
Yes.
qualify?
4 evaluators are qualified.
Okay, everyone, please vote for the best evaluator. Also vote for the best table topics if we haven't.
okay, so please welcome me as table topic evaluators. Thank you, because you know this creates a clean break from journal evaluator to table topic evaluator. So my first speaker was none other than DTM Rashid Dastagir. DTM Rashid Dastagir was given a topic by table topic master, the importance of networking. True to your experience, the way you introduced networking immediately came up with the quotations, which is totally relevant to the networking. We human are social animal. I think Aristotle said this. And despite the persistent advice of DTM Thala and DTM Safraz Nazir, you used this quotation. But I agree with you. I would like to use the quotations. I will take advice from DTM Safraz and then extend to make it more interesting. Or take the interesting part of the quotation. For example, I have never said I have a dream, but I referred to Dr. King once by saying that we are facing what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. So what I like then the way you came up from the social animal to the being the professional, and that is how we built our argument. I really liked it. I listened it very carefully. And then you, after the professional networking, you came what is the Sankonoon for professional networking is the communication. And ultimately you came as a Toastmaster, you emerged as a Toastmaster. And one thing that I've observed in the last 5 years in you, and that's my recommendation to Martha, sometimes your tone is very soft, very slow. Do something about it. Thank you very much for your speech overall. Our next speaker was friendships sometimes are more helpful than the family member. Yes, family member delivered by Majid. Majid is not here, but the way he chose the quotations, again, the purwar or the quotation, a friend is deed is friend and deed, and he started from the quotation and then try to build up his argument. And that is one thing I liked. And the way he concluded himself in the same quotations, he somehow conveyed the impression that is how I agree with my introductions. The second thing I always like in DTM in Toastmaster Majid is his tone, the variety of his tone. This is something that our DTM Rashid may learn from him. DTM Thala, oh my God, contesting election database and you voter. Very interesting questions. But you know, the district and club president does not need to be voted by the common members, because you never requested me to cast a vote for you. And then the way you take it, you know, humorous turn when you said that there is nobody sometimes being a vice president. That is why you happen to be the vice president. It's our next Toastmaster Aram, weakness and strength of Toastmaster. What I liked in Toastmaster Aram, this is first time I was listening her confidence, the way she was speaking, the grammar she was applying, the vocabulary she was using. It was astonishing to see a Toastmaster. I don't know if she is a Toastmaster, but she was delivering a speech so confidently that I had no choice but to kept myself attentive till the end of her speech. And the way she proved, it was a little bit difficult for her to point out the weakness of KTC. Had I been there, the situation would have been different. But the way she described the strength, the majority, the way she said the majority is senior, this is something really painful for me because I don't want to call myself senior. And the speech quality, she talked about the speech quality and shared the knowledge. And she was interested to take the knowledge from what she called the senior member of Karachi Toastmaster Club. Our next speaker was Mariam. Mariam Aftab, how to clarify the situation. And she also talked about the cultural environment and its role in clarification, how to talk, when to talk, with whom to talk. And she put herself in a role and said that how she wants to resolve a situation in a. What I like, always have liked the TM Hiram is a confidence. It is surprising for me that she is still not coming as a prepared speaker. Toastmaster Mariam, we are waiting for you as a prepared speaker. The last speaker was Toastmaster. DTM Sarfraz Nazir talked about his priorities. He is someone I always try to learn from him, though sometimes not agree. For example, when he talked about the title, once he recommended me to change the title of his speech because it is too large and bulky. I stopped writing bulky titles. And I remember one of the Indian movies produced by Salim Javed. Initially, the name of the movie is Khoon Ka Badla Khoon, Aag Ka Badla Aag. Then they end up with the title of Sholay and summarized it in a way. So I totally agree with regard to the title. And then you also talked about the way we introduced and the quotations. I also stopped using quotation until they are not interesting, or I would like just to pick up the interesting part of the quotation and leaving the rest of the quotation. Or I sometimes wanted to twist the quotation, but I never use quotation in inverted commas. That is one thing I learned from you. Please keep on teaching us. I'm grateful for all the educational sessions that you took, and we learned a lot from you. This is the end of the table topic session. Thank you. Sorry, the evaluation of the table topic speeches. Now I would like to come few recommendation or the general observations. I'm proud being in the hybrid system. Whenever I was not in Karachi, I usually miss the meetings. Now it is almost impossible because I don't have any excuse to do so. The second thing I like, please be a regular part of our sessions. I'm talking about DTM Rashid and you, sir. Please be a regular participant of our meeting. We want to learn from you because I'm not senior, you are senior, and senior does not belongs to the age. I know I'm older than both of you. The third segment is the speaker that we got someone What if DTM Irfan is in Karachi? Why he's not coming over here? DTM Tala.
No, he's not in Karachi.
But I saw sometimes over
Whenever
here.
he's in Karachi, he does come to it.
Okay, then I want to drop the subject of DTM Irfan then, because he's so eagerly listening me. I always in doubt whether DTM Irfan is there, right?
Yeah, he's there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So DTM Irfan, thank you for your presence as well. It's more regular and I'm learning. One of the things that I learned from you is whenever I'm in doubt about the mistakes being committed by DTM Tala, I immediately Google it so that I can find a mistake. Overall, it was a good session. I think this is the end from journal evaluation. But before ending the session, I would like to call the roll holder. We have some of the roll holders.
Not needed because we did have a listener, no grammarian, and Timer has already presented the report, so we can.
We did. Okay, so then I wanted to play the role of the listener. Just three. Just
All right,
three.
all right.
Just three sentences. Someone said terribly low number. Terribly low numbers. Oh yes. So you're a good listener. Someone, okay, according to DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, the title should be from 1 to 3 words, 1 to 5 words, or 1 to 7 words. 1 to 5 words. Okay. And according to DTM Sarfaraz Nazir, there are not 3 parts of the speech. There are 5 parts. What about the other 2? What about the other 2? You know, we usually have the introduction, middle of the speech, and then the conclusion. What is the addition according to?
Introduction and summarization.
Summarization is one, and what the other one is? Opening, yes. And this is something I've learned today, that introduction is something else, and it comes after the opening. And someone should, nobody beats an eyelid. Nobody beats an eyelid. Someone used this idiom today. Idiom Tala. And this is the end from my side. I would like to hand over the session to the journal, to the Toastmaster of the day, DTM Tala bin Ahmed.
Thank you so much.
So the stage is yours.
I want to say 2 magic words.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that general evaluation and table topics evaluation. It turns out that actually GE was Toastmaster Majid Akhtar. I don't know where he went. And perhaps if you've heard that Urdu idiom, Aankh Mujal, Pahar Mujal, which can be roughly translated and brutally translated as that if you close your eyes, you can't even see mountains. So a mountain walked out and I stopped seeing and mistakenly nominated Toastmaster Asghar as general evaluator. And the rest is history. We are at the end of the meeting. And I will just say about our theme that sometimes apocalypse is not the end of the world. Sometimes it is the beginning of a new world. And there's also a theory that the universe will come to an end through a big crunch and then it will be born again. And similarly, people who don't believe in creation or who have antagonistic views against the religious view of creation, they say that, you know, the human beings were not created by a divine entity. They either formed of natural processes or paradoxically, even some scientists believe that we were actually created not by a divine entity, but by an alien race, millions of billions of years ago, and were planted in Earth. But that brings us to the same situation again. That if that was the case, fine, let's accept that. Who created that alien race? So ultimately, it's an endless cycle. But it is in some cultures, especially, it is possible to survive the apocalypse. In fact, in our historic records, our religious records, as well as records of many ancient cultures, there's the mention of a great flood. And we know of that story through the Abrahamic religions, Noah's flood, Prophet Noah, and how he was taught to build an ark to survive the flood. And curiously, you'll find the flood, a great flood, in virtually every culture around the world, which has nothing to do with religion. There has been a mention of a great flood. So it seems that there was indeed a great flood at some point, and that was an apocalypse because most of the living beings were wiped out, but then they were born again. We also hear, again, geologists and scientists say that when ice ages came, every living being almost went extinct, except for some very hardy organisms that survived buried beneath the ice, and then they evolved. In fact, the theory of evolution itself is a story of surviving apocalypses. So perhaps apocalypse is not an end, rather it's just a doorway to another reality or existence. So without further ado, for the best Big Four, and please vote, and I'll hand over the charge now to our president. Over to you, DTM Sarfraz.
Thank you, DTM Talha. What a great meeting. Good speeches, 7 table topics, speakers. And before I mention a few other comments, I would like to invite our guests for their brief comments. We'll start off the guests at the Beach Luxury Hotel. I think we had...
actually, those guests have left, so maybe you can call the online guests.
Okay. We have with us Aaron online. Would you like to say a few words about the meeting as a whole, what you thought about the meeting? Although she's already expressed some of the views during her response to the table topics.
Overall, it was wonderful. I learned a lot, specifically if I talk about your speech, that was the starting and the ending point. It was informative. And with respect to Talha, yeah, I also learned a lot from him as well. So overall, it was a good experience.
Thank you, appreciate it. I guess that's all the guests we have.
Yeah.
DTM Talha and fellow Toastmasters, I guess this must be the first time where during a meeting, I ended up being a speaker, table topic speaker, and an evaluator.
Yes.
Thank you, DTM Talha. You never disappoint us. Earlier, I think you had mentioned, joke master. I guess we bypassed our jokes. So just here's something. It's funny, as I was walking up here to give my speech, I was thinking that we all have a lot in common. None of us know what I'm going to say. And then another one is where a person is leaving home on his way to a Toastmaster meeting to give a speech, and what his wife says. He says, coming here tonight, my wife said, whatever you do, don't try to be too charming, witty, or intellectual. Just be yourself. I guess we can, whenever you're ready with the votes, we can announce the results of the votes.
Yes, sir. I'd like to wait 30 seconds or so more for the votes.
Okay.
And if you agree, we can invite DTM Rashid for his comments again about the meeting.
Okay. Yes, DTM Rashid. Love to hear your comments
Yes.
and look forward to you being the chairperson for the contest.
You. So in my comments, I don't want to be a smart, wittiest, or blah blah, but I want to be myself. So I find the meeting that's really great to uh, resume attending meeting of Karachi Toastmaster Club and KTC, Karachi Toastmaster Club, as usual. The meetings are always full of learning and exciting, though because of the uh, transformation and hybrid meeting, having participants in person and participants online. So this has also made the Karachi Toastmaster a preferable club for the members. Times change, things change, and it is good to or great to adapt to things. That will actually give you load, but I also always remember those meetings, those in-person meetings, and the atmosphere. I think that always remain in my mind, and I always cherish those moments with the stalwarts of Toastmaster at that time, DDM Slim, DDM Samir Hamid, DDM Munib, Maria Paula. Those are unforgettable moments, but I think Karachi Club, Toastmaster Club is progressing well and touching the new echelons. And I always remain to be the part of Karachi Toastmaster Club, whether as a member or just as a friend. Over to you, President.
Yeah, present. Yeah. Sir, you muted, sir.
So nice. How many of you remember the speech from the Urdu speech contest? The title was Password.
Oh, yes. We do remember it very well.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, it was a winning speech.
Yes, yes. It was our first ever Urdu champion speech for the district.
One word title for a winning speech. So
yeah,
the title don't have to be too long. So you ready, DTM Talha, with the results?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
ready with the votes.
Okay.
So first of all, best prepared speaker today goes to, just a second, let me open the vote. Goes to Toastmaster Majid Akhtar. Congratulations. Best table topics today goes to, as usual, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab. But the good thing is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speakers received votes, at least one vote. So it was a tough contest. Best evaluator goes to DTM Sarfraz. So a little bit of a payoff for you doing 3 roles. But no thanks to me, rather thanks to the members who didn't take up the roles. And finally, best Big Four today goes to Toastmaster Mohammad Asghar as general evaluator and table topics here. So those are the results. We also have critics' choice, and for the critics' choice, just let me consult the poll. I'll just be announcing the top 2 positions because we have just 5. So the second place goes to Toastmaster Majid Akhtar. Congratulations. And the first place goes to DTM Irfan Farooq. So over to you, DTM Irfan.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. And now DTM Talha is VP Education. Would you like to ask someone to be the team out for next meeting?
Well, yes. the floor is open. If somebody wants to be the Toastmaster of the day, you can raise it. All right, we have our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rafat Mubin. And please think of a theme and share it with me, and then we can build the meeting around. And in fact, drawing on your discussion, Niti and Sarfraz, I believe that one of the reasons for success of KTC meetings lately over the past, I think it was Toastmaster Urusa who actually first suggested during her presidency that we should emphasize more on meeting themes. Before that, we didn't have much of a meeting theme. And that acts as a title to the speech. If you chance upon a very interesting and catchy meeting theme, then it's easy to build a meeting around it. So yeah, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rafat, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. And talking about the theme, back to title, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, you were the one who evaluated my speech in March of 2022. The title was "The Math Doesn't Add Up." So short and sweet, tells you what the speech is going to be, but doesn't give away the speech. I want to also thank Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kidwai for joining us and for her participation in table topics. It was a good suggestion, Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, asking her to sometimes give us a speech. Because we used to say that Toastmaster Imran Rana was the one who never gave speech, but lately he has given some speeches in different clubs. So we can't say anything about him not giving speeches. So we would like to see if Toastmaster Mariam Aftab can come off that list that we have, people not giving speeches. Once again, Toastmaster Irfan Faruqi, thank you for being a very dedicated member of Toastmasters International and for being very supportive of Karachi Toastmasters Club, not only joining the meetings as a guest, but actually giving speeches and participating in our KTC meetings. And I think this was the first or second time that our Iqbal has been the timer.
Yes, third time.
Third timer. So thank you. It's not easy to be a timer. It's considered an easy job because all you do is start the stopwatch and go. But having served as timers dozens and dozens of times, sometimes you get so involved in the speech you forget, the 5, 6 minutes you realize that you never turned the green. And then you turn, or sometimes it's a green is on and the person has already gone 7 minutes. Then you turn the yellow and 3 seconds later you turn the red on and the speaker gets confused. So very good job the way you handle that. And that's all the information I have. And you have already mentioned the contest of DT of Tala. You may want to go ahead and invite people to participate as contestants or join as guests.
Yes, thanks for the reminder, DT Sarfraz. So everyone, we are having our Tall Tales and Urdu speech contest on, inshallah, December the 3rd. It will be Sunday, 10 to 12 or 12:30. All paid members are eligible to participate and they are strongly urged to participate.
Thank you. And once again, thank you, Iram, for joining us. We look forward to you being a member of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and we look forward to your first speech. Thank you once again for joining us. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you, inshallah, next Wednesday for another exciting meeting. Until then, Allah Hafiz. The meeting is now officially adjourned.
Thank you so much, everyone. And Iram, I have shared my cell phone number with you. I hope you got it. I shared via Zoom.
Yeah, I got. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. We look forward to your participation in future as well. And thank you so much, everyone. And see you all next week. Okay.